Ladies and gentlemen, from Sheffield Arena, Eddie Hearn for Matchroom Boxing proudly presents live on Sky Sports to the world and exclusively to the United States on DAZ and DAZN, the main event of the evening. 12 rounds of boxing for the vacant WBO Intercontinental Super Welterweight Championship. Sponsored by William Hill, StubHub, Wow Hydrate, and JD Sports. Sanctioned by the British Boxing Board of Control, steward in charge, Robin Smith. WBO Supervisor, John Handelad. Timekeeper at the bell, Barry Pender. The three judges assigned to ringside scoring this contest will be Terry O'Connor, Michael Fitzgerald, and Gregors Molenda. And in charge of the action at the bell, your referee, Phil Edwards. And now the officials are ready. The fighters are in the ring and they are ready. Fight fans, are you ready? For the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, from Sheffield, England, let's get ready to rumble! Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, standing with his trainer Hector Bermudez, wearing black with white, official weight 10 stone, 12 pounds, 12 ounces. His professional record is an outstanding one. In 25 fights, he has 24 victories, including 13 wins by knockout, his only defeat by split decision and avenged 4 months later, meaning he has defeated every man he's ever faced in the ring. He's a two-time NBA champion and former IBA Super Welterweight World Champion from the great state of Massachusetts, USA, Mark Bazooka ΔeLuca. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner, standing with his trainer Dominic Ingle, wearing red and gold, officially weighing in at 10 stone, 13 pounds, 12 ounces. His professional record, 38 victories, including 26 big wins by knockout, 2 defeats. He's the former welterweight champion of the world, known as the Special One, the fighting pride of Sheffield, England. Kell, Special K.
Gentlemen, you've had your instructions in the dressing room. You know what I expect of you both. Remember, follow my instructions, defend yourselves at all times. Touch gloves, good luck.
Up at super welterweight and promising a spectacular statement after his reunion with former longtime trainer Dominic Ingle. Kell Brook returning for fight number 41 after that terribly poor performance here in December 2018 against Michael Zarafa. What of Mark ΔeLuca? He's younger at 31, he's fresher, but is he good enough to answer the questions and expose any flaws in the 2020 version of Kell Brook? It's a fascinating one.
Yeah, well, he certainly shouldn't be, Adam. Kell Brook, a top fighter, one of the best in the world in his prime. Inactivity, you know, has played a part here. I think he spent a lot of energy, time chasing the Amir Khan fight. He's just eluded him, but he's focused now on 154 pounds and becoming a two-weight world champion. I think that's the right thing, you know, but none of that, all of that goes out the window if he doesn't get the win here. And also, I think it's not just about getting the win. I think he's got to win here and look really good doing it.
He's been telling us all week the penny has finally dropped, but he is approaching 34, Kell Brook. Did have that fight with John Fuchs, his old friend and amateur colleague, but back with what he knows best, Dominic Ingle. Of course, the Brendan Ingle way. We remember him when he was a 10-year-old boy in the gym, looking up to Nassim Hamad and Ryan Rhodes and Johnny Nelson and everybody. Body shot from ΔeLuca. He'll try that. He'll try and really test Kell Brook's resilience. And what about the reflexes? Because Brook's game's always been about timing that beautiful jab. And we're looking for signs. ΔeLuca tough, durable, only the one defeat on the record, which, as Michael Buffer said, he has avenged against Walter Wright, but really never faced anyone of the caliber, the quality of Kell Brook. But it is about timing this sport too, not just levels.
Yeah, he hasn't boxed anywhere near the levels. He boxed many levels below where Kell Brook has been consistently for a long time now, so it's Kell should really get the win here and look good doing. He should, if he's anywhere near as good as he was, he'll take this guy apart. I think he's just having a look now. Cagey opening round, trying to get his distance. Both guys cagey, but I definitely expect him to settle down and start going to work.
Focused and intent Brook, just whipping the left hand. ΔeLuca, has he got any weapons to even trouble Brook, despite his ruggedness? Former Marine, hard man, ΔeLuca.
Well, he certainly wouldn't have had a few years ago, so if he does start troubling Kell, then, you know, that's something Kell will have to look at when he assesses the opponent, the performance. But right now, it's just about getting the win and settling into this fight.
Well, there's a man on a spying mission, former world champion Liam Smith. Who I know would fancy a fight with Kell Brook sometime this year. We all would. They've sparred together, haven't they?
Yeah, absolutely.
And weren't you there?
If that fight happens, that's the one fight I'd definitely be at.
Got to get through this first. Kell Brook in the red and gold, the Sheffield United man. He's had 40 fights, 38 victories, the 2 defeats, of course, up in that big ask against Gennady Golovkin at middleweight, and then the fight with Errol Spence, where he had to cram himself down to welterweight. Spence, of course, a superstar, one of the pound-for-pound best. And with Mark ΔeLuca, certainly not one of the pound-for-pound best. Bazooka, but he has only 1 defeat on his record. It is a chance for him to make a name for himself. But all eyes really on Brook and how he deals with ΔeLuca. The word is he's looked phenomenal in training, but that's in training on the pads, Matt. Very different under the lights.
Yeah, you've got to do it under the pressure, in the ring, under the lights, on the night, in the fight. I mean, even sparring is the next best thing, but it's still not the real thing. You've got to do it on the night, under the pressure.
What are your first impressions of Kell Brook? 14 months out, of course, but looking for that speed and the reflexes and the natural qualities he's always had.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's been a cage opener. He's taken his time. He's had a look at ΔeLuca, doesn't know a lot about him. He's had the layoff as well, so I think he's trying to ease his way into the fight here. So reflexes, timing, all that stuff will be off at the minute, the distance. So I think he's just trying to get close, get his distance, settle down, and then go to work after that.
Good left hand from ΔeLuca, and one to the body as well. It's not quite accurate with that jab yet. Brook, is there some marking under the right eye of ΔeLuca? I mean, he's stubborn and strong, and when we saw him in Boston on the Katie Taylor, Cindy Serrano night, He was a victor and a worthy one in that rematch against Walter Wright. But he just didn't look spectacular in any way, sort of solid, strong.
Yeah, strong and rugged, big for the weight, but he's very basic, and as we've already said several times, hasn't performed anywhere near the level that Kell has been at consistently for many years now. So Kell, once he settles down, once he gets his distance and his timing, he should be able to take DeLuca apart.
Just switched southpaw momentarily. One or two people were saying that he would fight DeLuca from the southpaw stance more. Out of range, Bruck, maybe to be expected, though, this early.
I need to move it back.
When you go southpaw, you're inside of it. You're inside of his jab. So every now and again, and he's not particularly good against southpaws. So you'll get the shots off with him. But every time you hit him hard, you're marking him up. But you need to stop him running in and holding you, because that's where he's doing his work. So just take off, you're pressuring him with your feet and he's blowing. Understand? And you're hitting him a bit. But you've got to realise that you don't rush into that. Try and stop him from running and holding you. You can feel him and then step back and let him lunge and then ping him. Yeah? You don't want to be holding. Good. And every now and again, with southpaw, just be bang quick. He's not particularly good. Understand? He's got get inside of his shot, bang straight, then away.
Yeah, there's that nice counter right hand, doubling up on it. Down the middle, always a good shot against the southpaw. I don't think he's really settled into it yet, Kell. I think he's still struggling to get that distance in his timing.
Third of 12, there is the vacant WBO Intercontinental title on the line in the 11-stone, 154-pound division, but it's really all about how Kell Bruck comes back to the fold and whether Mark DeLuca can surprise us all and pull off a massive upset. Sometimes fighters get old overnight, so you never know, but Bruck really a massive favourite here to return to dominant ways. DeLuca's been around since 2007. A lot of stop-start in his career because of his time in Afghanistan with the Marines. But he's had some momentum of late on the eastern seaboard.
Yeah, well, I mean, Kell's had the 14-month layoff, so you'd expect a cagey start until he gets his distance and his timing. But, you know, I'd like to see him start going to work now a little bit more, trying to drive those straight right hands down the middle. And as Don was saying, give the feints, take the little step back, don't get caught where we can grab a hold of you and get into a clinch and it gets ugly. You know, show your class here, drilling with that straight right hand down the middle, go southpaw and drive the southpaw jabbing.
So lively though, DeLuca, trying to find the angles, work the Bruck body. Bruck believed he would have knocked Michael Zarafa out in 3 rounds when they fought. It didn't happen, and he laboured to a points victory that night. This is better, just trying to find the uppercut and the flow, the rhythm that we remember from Kell Bruck.
Yeah, good shot.
Nice right hand and an uppercut, and starting to find his timing. And look at the nose of DeLuca. That's bad, and that might be broken.
Yeah, that good blood absolutely gushing from it. I think that could definitely be broken.
Right hand from Bruck, and here we go. He has found his timing and hurt DeLuca badly. Down he goes. Mark DeLuca in the third. Bruck's already beginning to celebrate. The legs have stiffened dramatically from the American, and it's taken him a couple of rounds, Kell Bruck, but he could be on the verge of a big stoppage victory, certainly psychologically for him. It'll be a huge confidence boost to DeLuca going for Bruck.
Yeah, first 2 rounds were cagey. You expected him to be timing out, distance out, but he's found his range now, and look what he's done, going through the gears. Lovely shots.
Juicy uppercut from Kell Bruck, reminding us just slightly of what he once had. And there'll be far stiffer tests ahead should he get rid of Mark DeLuca here. But this is better from Bruck. And he turns southpaw just like Dominic Ingle asked him to. And a bad round for the American, who wants some verbals after the bout. but his face a bloody mask. And Kell with his best round in a long while.
In a long, long time, that was much better for him. First 2 rounds, he was having a look, he was trying to get his distance, he was a bit cagey, he was trying to get the read of ΔeLuca, but that was a good round, landed a big right hand. I think it was the big right hook there as well. There was a shot left him that caused the knockdown. Lee stiffened. I think it might have been an uppercut that broke the nose as well. But that was good work from Kell, changing the angles.
It was a good right hand, but it was that left hook where he didn't see coming. That one. Yeah, good work from Bruck. Found the distance.
There's that left hook. He kind of changed the angle. I think ΔeLuca thought that the lead jab was coming. He just turned it into a left hook. Good shot.
Right, yeah.
He hasn't had a 4th round victory since he stopped Vyacheslav Senchenko in this very arena back in 2013. He'll be hunting for one here. The 9th time Kell has sold out this arena. The Sheffield faithful have not forgotten him. There's been a real buzz all week. Can he force the stoppage of Mark ΔeLuca, or will the bazooka have a real rally here? There's a right hand there. The American, he's tough and proud, and he'll certainly try and cause what will be a massive shock.
He's trying to come forward now and put pressure. He's trying to back Bruck up, and he's looking for the big hooks coming out of that crouch. I think Kell could try and walk him onto some good uppercuts here as he ducks low.
The nose already pouring blood for ΔeLuca.
I think the uppercut would be a good shot here from Kell. Stiffen him up, measure him with that jab, and then drive that right uppercut through the middle.
Just stalking now, Bruck, back behind that jab to head and to body.
Yeah, you can just see he's setting him up here now.
And an uppercut there, that's the one you call for, Matt. He shakes his head, spitting out the defiance. Mark ΔeLuca. But he's been checked, hasn't he, ΔeLuca?
Yeah, he's been put in his place firmly. Every now and then he'll come back with a little burst, but I think the writing is on the wall here. I think Kell, if he can land, if he can hurt him again, then I think he can probably get through the gears and get the stoppage here.
Still firing though, ΔeLuca, and he'll just be hoping that he can weather this early Bruck storm and he can take him to places he may not be comfortable after all the questioning over whether he wanted to come back. And Kell Bruck has found a peace, he's found some maturity, I think, as well. And a dad of 3 now, turns southpaw, and he wants it again. He says he doesn't need it for money, he wants to become a 2-weight champion.
Well, I'm glad to see him back up at a super welterweight, 154 pounds, because he'd long outgrown the welterweight. I think when he went up to middleweight that time to fight Golovkin, put on the extra weight, and then he killed himself to get back down to 147 for the Errol Spence fight. Looked really good then against Rabchenko, and then getting back down to 150, I just thought took too much out of him. So I think being up at 154 pounds is a smart move.
Good work from Bruck, right at the end of the round, and the bell just comes in the nick of the time, and he walks wearily back to his corner. Mark ΔeLuca, Andy Scott is with a possible future foe.
Liam, what have you made of Kell's speed, power and performance so far?
I thought the first 2 rounds the timing was off, but the last 2 he's got a time, and I think he's starting to put his shots together and maybe look like the old Kell.
Let's not beat around the bush. Are you here because you want Kell Bruck?
Yeah, I am. Obviously, it's no secret. I've pushed for that fight for a while now, and you know I'm here to look at him as an opponent, and I want that fight next, definitely.
You might not get a chance to have a reply post-fight if Kell does come through. What's your message for him? And I'll relay it to him.
He knows full well. He knows through sparring sessions. He knows through post-interviews. I want that fight next. I've pushed my manager and management team, MTK. I've pushed Eddie. I want that fight next, and you know I've made it no secret, and I'll start opening my mouth about it now.
Great to see you.
Thank you, mate. Thank you.
I'd love Liam Smith to start opening his mouth about it. He's the character. Well, they all are, the Smith brothers, but Liam's got a real edge to him. And that'll be a fantastic fight to see. Obviously, so much talk of the Amir Khan fight over the years, but no closer on that front. Liam Smith here tonight, and he wants it, and we all want it if Brouck comes through this.
Yeah, got to come through this, but certainly looks like he's going to do that, and hopefully in style. He's looking good here now. Like I say, as Liam said there as well, it was a slow start first couple of rounds, but that's to be expected after the 14-month layoff. But he's looked good here now in the rounds 3 and 4. I don't think the stoppage is too far away.
Looking for the body shots, and to the head, Kell Brouck. It's a bit of an open super welterweight division worldwide as well. Jason Rosario, Jamel Charlo, of course, Patrick Teixeira, Erislandy Lara. There are plenty of options, should he win a couple, Kell Brouck, to get that dream world title challenge. But Mark ΔeLuca hasn't gone quietly, still throwing out leather, and for an ex-Marine, you'd have thought of nothing else, really. He's a tough boy.
Yeah, absolutely. Gritting it out here, topping it out, taking a lot of shots. Could have looked for a way out, but he hasn't. He's finding a lot of pride here.
Yeah, on the front foot, he looks good, Brouck. Has shipped a few shots, though, defensively.
Yeah, but I don't think he has too much respect for what's coming back at him. I don't think ΔeLuca has the power to really trouble him.
Don't want to be getting sloppy and into bad habits or letting this fight drift. I mean, he was on the verge of stopping him a couple of rounds ago, back end of the last one as well. This is the session where his brave effort against Gennady Golovkin came to a halt. He's had the trouble with the eye sockets. He's had it all, Kell Brouck, and the stabbing in Tenerife too. Yeah,
he's had a real roller coaster career and life. And like you say, all that stuff, it's all hardships, and you know, the eye injuries, Errol Spence, Gennady Golovkin, stuff outside of the ring, the inactivity, the very below par performance last time. So, you know, this is a big night for Kell.
Seems a bit more settled. Lindsay at ringside, his 3 children as well. Very close to them. He loves being a dad, Kell Brouck, but he's enjoyed his gym work again. Mark ΔeLuca still covering up, trying to make life awkward and throwing out a combination every once in a while. Been here a week, ΔeLuca. Said this is the chance and the stage to make a name for himself, and if he can extend Brouck long and into the fight, then he goes back brave. But Brouck here just trying to up the ante again at the end of the round. Keeps doing that. Right at the end of the 3 minutes, Brouck.
Over his head, towel over his head. Okay, keep breathing. He's tough, that's all he is. He's heavily breathing. Understand? When he starts to not play near with the rope, just flick him, don't even try it until he stops. Understand? Don't waste shots on him. Do not waste shots on him. Yeah? Do not waste shots on him. He breathes, perfect. Every now and again, every now and again just keep switching that southpaw because you're getting him.
Yeah, he's saying he's tough, you know, don't waste shots on him. There's a slight worry of Dominic Ingle that maybe if it goes into the last 3 or 4 rounds, you just don't know what he's got at this stage.
Yeah, and I think the thing with ΔeLuca, when someone's just surviving and not firing back, then you need to get a little bit of work out of them. You need to get the gaps where, you know, Kell's the one doing all the work because ΔeLuca's just tucking up on the ropes and, you know, trying to survive really. But and don't tell him the right thing. Don't waste loads of energy just hitting arms and gloves.
You've seen 5 rounds. What's the assessment so far on Kell Brouck?
I think the last few rounds he's been good. You know, the first 2 he was very cagey. That was to be expected at the 14-month layoff. But I think he looked really good in the 3rd round, 4th as well. I think now it's getting to a stage where ΔeLuca's really kind of gone into his shell a little bit. He has a little, you know, he throws a few punches every now and then. So Kell's still got to stay switched on, but it's a case where Kell's trying to open him up, trying to get the clean shots where he doesn't want to waste too much energy just hitting arms and gloves.
Wild and woolly from ΔeLuca, but brave and gritty with that nose that might be broken. Brouck misses with the uppercut. Just trying to bludgeon him now, Kell Brouck. Knows he can hurt him, knows he's far better, knows this might be the time to strike, but ΔeLuca knuckles down and throws back himself. Well, he's trying everything he knows in there, ΔeLuca, but he's outclassed. And that's the big problem for him.
Yeah, showing a lot of pride and a lot of grit, like I say, staying in there, toughing it out. Every now and then he fires back to stay competitive, try and stay competitive in the fire, not to give the ref the opening to jump in and stop him, but really, it's all one-way traffic here.
That was sensible from Bruck with the jab, softening up the body. Always been an excellent technician, Bruck. Clever fighter. But a left hand from ΔeLuca. We have seen him hurt late in fights before. Errol Spence, obviously, Carson Jones as well. The first time they thought he gassed out there, just about squeaked home there, the rematch.
Yeah, I think he doesn't want to waste loads of energy hitting arms and gloves here. He just wants to feint and touch around and effortless, really. And then when ΔeLuca opens up, that's when Cal wants to go with him.
He was caught again there, Matt. It's happened a few times in this round. Just arm punches from Bruck there. ΔeLuca trying to crack a left hand, and he hasn't sickened ΔeLuca. He's checked him, he's controlled him, but he still needs to find something pretty big here as the first half of the fight comes to an end. I think that 7, 8, 9 could be just a troublesome period if he hasn't got rid of him.
I think Cal should just keep feinting here, just keep touching him, keep softening him up. Don't throw big combinations hitting arms and gloves. But when ΔeLuca opens up, because he will, that's when Cal needs to open up with him, when he gets the clean openings.
The left eye closing, the blood pouring from the nose, but again he just puffs himself out, ΔeLuca, and says, come on then. He's got through the first half, albeit a pretty horribly one-sided one.
Yeah, I think Cal's totally in dominant. He's won every single round. He's won them big hits, caught with a shot there, but that's going to be expected, because what happens when it's so one-sided like that, it's easy to switch off your own defenses a little bit, so he can't afford to do that. But I don't think he's got any threat really coming back to him from ΔeLuca. But I think he's got to be careful not to hit arms and gloves, waste energy. What he wants to do is just touch around, keep him busy, keep softening with the jab, keep giving him the feints. But then when ΔeLuca opens up, that's when Cal wants to open up with him.
Alma Ingle, what a wonderful lady. Married, of course, to Brendan for so long. And since Brendan's passing, Alma has literally taken over his role, Brendan's role of opening the gym up, closing it at night, sweeping the floors, just like her beloved Brendan used to do. She's such a figure for all of these Sheffield fighters, for our own Johnny, for Kell, for Kid Galahad, for everybody, past and present, from the Winkerbank stable. Dominic and John, of course, her sons, who've been so involved with all the fighters. As we enter the second half of this one, Mark ΔeLuca from Whitman in Massachusetts. He's been down, but he's been very spirited, very brave, and he's literally just pushed through the ropes in front of us. And he didn't need that as well, did he?
No. I mean, like I say, he's surviving right now, and every now and then he'll open up. So I think with Cal just touching him around, that's good.
Good right hand there, squeeze through. And maybe this is the last hurrah from ΔeLuca, because he is being systematically taken apart. Decent from Bruck with a jab, just...
Shots.
Oh, that was it! And that's the end of this super welterweight fight. He can't recover, Mark ΔeLuca. He's going to be knocked out here in round number 7. And Kell Bruck does make a triumphant return to the ring and in front of his Sheffield fans as well. He taps his chest. And well done to Kell Bruck, under a lot of pressure tonight, mentally and physically. And he was always set to beat Mark ΔeLuca, But he had a couple of demons swimming around that head, I'm sure, and he got the job done, and in the end, emphatically, there's Terry, his down 27th knockout for Kell Brook, and it was a clinical one in the end for poor Mark DeLuca, who was brave, but he was outgunned, he was outclassed, and he got the job done, Kell Brook.
Got it done and done it well. First couple of rounds, he was cagey, then he looked really good, and then DeLuca toughed it out, got through the moment, survived it. Then it was it entered a phase where it was like DeLuca surviving on the ropes, tucking up, not really firing back, but every now and then he'll put a combination together, or he'll load up and lunge with a big hook. So Kell couldn't afford to switch off. Didn't want to waste too much energy hitting arms and gloves, had to be patient, had to wait until he got the openings, and was softening him up the whole time, switching his attacks head and body, and predominantly behind the jab. But he knew he was going to get his time. He was nice and patient, and he was just, like you said, slowly, systematically breaking DeLuca down. And in the end, when he got the shot, the final jab, which caused the knockdown, it was like a jumping lead left jab, and it was a peach of a punch.
And after the Michael Zarafa 12 rounds, which didn't really stand him in good stead, and he walked away from the sport for a bit. He needed something like this, and it was coming, it was on the cards the last 2 or 3 rounds, but that was emphatic.
Yeah, let's keep it in perspective. Mark DeLuca, certainly not a world beater. Kell was expected to do this, but we didn't know if he still had it in him that he could do it. Did he have the patience to, because, you know, he could have got easily over-eager in there. He didn't. He stuck, he boxed to instructions. He listened to Dom in between rounds, who talked him through the fight. And in the end, it was a job very well done.
Absolutely right to keep it in perspective. Some people said DeLuca no more really than a club-level fighter. And he was what we thought he'd be, tough and strong and dedicated, but just not in the same league as Kell Brook. What we didn't know was what Kell Brook had left after 14 months out at 33. What have we learnt tonight? Have we learned that he could again fight for a world title? Probably yes.
Yeah, I think so. He looked good. Like I said, the patience, you know, there was times there where it was, he could have got frustrated, he could have got impatient, he could have tried to force the knockout too much. He didn't do that. He took his time, he picked his shots, he picked his moments, and in the end, it was an impressive performance. Like I say, Mark DeLuca, certainly not a world beater, but it was the manner about it, how he went about his victory, Kell. The fact that there would have been demons there, they're probably exercised now, and all in all, it was a good performance.
Yep, excellent victory for Kell Brook, one he badly needed, and British boxing did as well, as he stops Mark DeLuca dramatically in the 7th.
Ladies and gentlemen, your referee, Phil Edwards, reaches the count of 10, and this contest comes to an end at 1 minute, 15 seconds of round number 7. The winner by knockout victory, now the WBO Intercontinental Champion. His march to another world title begins tonight. He is the fighting pride of Sheffield, England, the Special One, Kell Special K. Bro!
Kell, congratulations, all smiles. After 14 months out, how did it feel to be back, and how happy are you with your performance?
I felt very fit. Obviously, a year and a half out. A few rounds were a little bit rusty, but once I got into it, you know, the bazooka were very tough, durable. You know, sitting on the rope, trying to line me up for shots. Very smart fighter, you know, he's never been beat. So, you know, I had to chip away at him, but it was a clinical finish. Which, you know, I think, you know, what do you think? Maybe a sensational performance. I felt it in our box well in there.
After the Zarafa fight, you obviously asked yourself questions, and having achieved everything there is, you know, winning a world title, I'm sure you went home and wondered if you wanted to do it anymore. Certainly, people wondered if the old Kell Brook was still there. Is the old Kell Brook still there? Do you feel that you put a few demons to rest tonight and answered a few questions?
Yeah, I think you're always questioning yourself, but, you know, I believe what I've been doing in the gym. You know, I've been beating all these 21-year-olds because I've kept on it. You know, I should have been on the AJ bill, and I kept on it. Normally, I'd go off rails, but I sticked on it. I'm a new kid. I'm a different person. I've got, you know, I'm constantly in the gym. You know, drop my kids off and straight at the gym, and that's all I do now. You know, live like a professional, like I should have done for a long time ago. But this is my last chapter in my career. You know, Eddie Hearn's going to line them big fights up for my world title. 2020 is the year I become the champion again.
Liam Smith is at ringside, and that is seemingly a fight that can be made. You're both under the same promotional umbrella. You're both at the same weight. Is that a fight that interests you? He spoke to us beforehand and said it's a fight that interests him. You
know, of course it does. You know, I don't shy away from any fighter. You know, Liam, you know, I've got a lot of respect for him. You know, he boxed a stable mate of mine in Liam Williams. So I've sparred him. You know, when I boxed Golovkin and he boxed Canelo, you know, we had very good spars. If there's anything to go on with the spars, the fight will be amazing. You know, so we'll sit down with Eddie this week. He's there now, Liam. I know that he wants to fight. You know, you know, this is a game. It's a business. You know, listen, I love the Smith family, but when we're getting there, you know, it's business.
You still believe that you can become a two-time, two-weight world champion at 154, not back down at welterweight, obviously?
Yeah, listen, I felt very comfortable in here. I'm only weighing about 11.4, 11.5. You know, so you know, look, I'm comfortable at the weight. You know, I walked into the weight. I just eating as normal. You know, I didn't need to bang no weight back on. I felt comfortable in there. My breathing was bang on after, you know, the burst in the rounds. You know, I could have gone 15 rounds in there. You know, it took me time, chopped away at ΔeLuca, and we got the victory we wanted. When do you think you could box next? We'll go to Eddie Hearn next, but when do you want to be out next? Is momentum key for you, staying busy, not drifting away? With a fight, I want to get straight back in the gym Monday. Now, I want to be fighting in 10, 12 weeks. I'm ready to go. 10, 12 weeks, how does that sound?
Yeah, for sure. Listen, it was a different Kell Brook in there tonight. You can see by his physique. Normally he comes in, he's had to pile back on the liquid and the food. Sometimes he's a little bit bloated and sluggish. I've never seen him after 5 rounds sit down on a stool and not be breathing. You know, normally that's the time in the fight where we're worried about how he might have made the weight. This time, different person, different man. Rusty for a couple of rounds. ΔeLuca was tough. But Kell Brook showed he's still got everything left. But this time he's got the mind, the brain, and he's got the engine. You know, and like he said, you know, sometimes it takes time to realise what you got. It's not too late for Kell Brook. He's realised now. He's turned himself around. He's back in the gym. His mind's on it. His body's on it. And I believe he can become a two-weight world champion. You know, you've got Liam Smith and Kell Brook both trying to become world champions. And if we can do it separately, great. If we can't, then they can fight each other, no problem. That'll be a final eliminator for the WBO world title. But Kell's got to go back in the gym. You know, he said to me, you know, I'm one of the original gang. Because when we started, it was me, Kell, Carl Froch and Darren Barker. That was it. So it's good to see him back, you know, and it's good to see him smiling. It's been 14 months of terror and torture. A lot of things going on in his mind. He's realised what he wants in life, and that's to become a two-time champion of the world. I'm proud of him. I'm glad that the city came out to support him. I believe 2020 is going to be a big year for him. Get behind Kell Brook. He's got plenty in the tank. He's one of the old crew. He's one of the old crew, you know. A lot of those older generation, they're retiring from the sport. Not Kell Brook yet. He's got a big year or two left in him. We're making up for lost time. We want to make it happen. I want to see another belt round his waist.
Well done. Welcome back.